Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you? Nice to meet you.
So great to meet you.
Come on in.
Thank you for having me.
My name's DJ Pauly D, and Tyler may know me from DJing all over the world or may know me from Jersey Shore.
I recognize you, funny enough.
Oh, I'm glad.
Awesome.
I was wondering if you would.
Yes, oh my gosh, I'm excited to do this.
Come on in, I'm excited too.
Awesome.
This is my first reading ever. I mean, I have palm readings before, and they've came to be true. So I'm thinking that this is way better than just a palm reading, so I believe heavily what Tyler does. I didn't know if you're gonna know me or not, but
yes.
I think it's so cool. I think that's the coolest aspect of it. You not knowing who you're reading. It's gotta be nerve-wracking and
It is every
crazy.
time, because it could be anybody. So it's, for me, if I don't recognize a client, that comes with some anxieties, and if I do, sometimes it does.
It's so fascinating.
Yeah.
I know you're the man.
Oh,
I watch.
You're sweet. Awesome.
You did Nicole too, so.
Yes, she's the best.
So Stunky told me that she was blown away by Tyler's reading.
Who's Elaine?
Stop! I can't. Oh my God.
Okay, who would this be? Tell me. Tell me.
That's his fiance.
She couldn't believe how real it was, and she was super skeptical. Like, she's skeptical about everything, and he wowed her, so I'm excited to see what he does for me.
If your validations are like hers, that would be interesting. So funny. So today, I'll just kind of let you know what's popping in. Usually in a reading, I always say that they might try to deliver 300 messages. If I'm lucky, I'll pick up on 30 of those messages. So there might be some really significant details that come through. Others might be smaller memories, references that just kind of validate that that person's coming through, that they have a recollection of their lives. And that can be really interesting too. But usually, if we have objects for multiple people, I prefer to hold on to them one at a time.
Okay.
And just because I'm holding on to an object that's connected to one person doesn't mean that they're necessarily guaranteed to come through. Anyone can come through when I hold onto an object.
Got it.
It just helps.
Yeah.
So I'll hold on to anything that you brought today, just face down if there are any photos.
Yeah, so it's photographs today.
Awesome, perfect.
Yes, same person. So.
Great, lovely. Okay, we'll see what pops in.
I would love for Tyler to see if you see anything pop up on somebody that passed away. I'm really hoping for some closure, and I just hope that maybe he can give me some answers.
Okay. There is an acknowledgement that I need to bring up, but it's coming through on Mom's side. There's a feeling of a timing of a passing, and then I have to reference to an acknowledgement of not having closure with everybody. And the feeling that kind of comes across is basically, in essence, it's like, I don't know if we were able to actually physically have that goodbye. And there's this acknowledgement of the timing with it. There is actually an acknowledgement of people being in a different state at the time that he died, and there's a state divide line. Do you know about the state divide?
Yeah, I mean, we're all spread all over the place. I got some family in North Carolina, some family in Rhode Island, and like I obviously moved out, but no one was able to get like real closure because my auntie Shirley was like the only one that with him when he passed, because he was very sick. He was in the hospital.
Right. This looks like a situation that, would go unresolved to some extent in the context of this passing. There's very distinctly an M male name that I have to bring up. It's coming through on that side.
Oh, wow.
Who's the man with the M name?
That's crazy. Oh, that's crazy. So if it's connected to my mother, my Uncle Mike passed away, and that was tough. Yeah, it's really tough for her, tough for us, yeah.
Right.
That's crazy, an M, yeah. That's Mike, my Uncle Mike.
He is having me bring up a couple health issues. Do you know of anyone having an oxygen tank on your mom's side?
He did.
Okay, so it was him.
So he had an oxygen tank, yeah. That's crazy that you know all that.
That's a lot, I know. So he is having me acknowledge this feeling of when I'm going to my legs and my feet, I don't feel like I have full circulatory functionality. Basically from the knee down, he's showing me very little real feeling of mobility.
Yeah,
and
it's in a wheelchair. My aunt is gonna trip out when she hears this. She's gonna trip out.
And he's joking about showing me a symbol for Hot Wheels, which is like a funny reference. I don't know what this is.
Yeah, that's his wheelchair.
I love it.
That's
and he's showing me flames on the side. It's like a funny thing. And there's a joke about this. It's a funny character because I feel like despite what he went through, he still acknowledges trying to maintain a sense of humor, still trying to be funny.
Oh my God,
still trying to
that's him to a T.
Never lose that, and that was important for him.
Now here's this guy that was sick, definitely very ill, but still so happy. He didn't want to make it about his sickness or him being ill. He was just a happy guy telling jokes.
Right.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me if he saw himself in you to some extent.
Yeah, maybe.
As well.
For me, he liked me the most, I think.
Yes. He acknowledges one of the biggest senses of frustrations for some living people is actually a significant date also being around the time that he died. If there is a holiday around the time frame of death, or if there's a significant birthday, the feeling that comes across is like my death, and then he's placing a significant date around his passing as well. What is this?
Christmas.
Okay.
Yeah, it was Christmas, and the family's so big, and it's like,
Right.
it put like a divide on who's gonna go to whose house now, and everybody used to go together, and it's like really
Right.
separated now, and that would have to be Christmas, because it happened right around there, and it was different having Christmas without him, you know?
Right.
The stuff that he knew, no one knew. The stuff about my Uncle Mike, the wheelchair, the oxygen tank, and the stuff that came to him was amazing. How do you know that stuff, and how does that just pop up from some scribbles that he does? It's amazing to me. Fascinating, actually. So when my Uncle Mike died, it was tough seeing my Auntie Shirley go through that and just to be without him on the holidays. So it was a tough time for her and obviously for the whole family.
When he comes through, he actually talked about, in the event that he were to ever pass away, what he would have wanted her to do. And he comes through very close to her, very connected to her, very protective. But he is having me reference to moving on. He's referencing to romantically moving on.
That's crazy because, you know, she just started like the dating websites now. She just brought herself to do that, and the sisters like sort of are having her do that, you know?
Right, and the feeling is like thumbs up with this. And she needs to know that by her continuing to be with anybody, in the event that that happens, that she's not forgetting him by being with somebody else. She's not dishonoring him by being with somebody else. She's embracing the best quality of life with a companion, and he would want that for her.
Okay.
So he does not want her to be alone.
Okay. My Auntie Shirley would love to hear all this.
Yeah.
She would love to hear all this. My Auntie Shirley, she lost my Uncle Mike and was devastated. They were super close. She was the one that was taking care of him while he was sick, and they've been through so much. I remember going to her home and still seeing his things there. And now here she is, she's stuck with still looking at those things. She doesn't want to throw them out, and what do you do? And how do you live life without your significant other? So after today and talking with Tyler, I think it'll be a little sense of closure for her.
Do you have any questions or anything along those lines?
There was something I had to ask you about was these photos that I brought.
Oh, great.
So my friend Billy, my best friend in the whole entire world, he passed away
Right.
About 11 years ago.
Yeah.
Now this was like my best friend, and we did everything together and stuff like that. And he passed in a motorcycle accident, and we were together all the time. And so it's like I don't know if there's anything that you see. The way he died, how do you go living your life one day with him every single day, then all of a sudden you don't. You live life without him, and I don't talk to anybody about this because I'm a public figure, but I'm private in that aspect.
Interesting, yeah. I mean, I'll just kind of let you know if I feel anything that kind of fits that bill, and we'll just kind of go down a couple things real quick and see if anything connects. There is a visual that's coming through. Feeling is, if I were turning, I would be fine, but I'm up straight. And this is the weird thing in the way this is coming across. I don't have the time to be able to correct anything that would have gone wrong. And the feeling is the center of balance isn't at the center of the vehicle. It's almost like if someone's veering or turning and it's more on one side or more on the other, and we can't adjust quick enough, the focus is almost like I don't have the balance.
Okay. So I'm shaking right now. I hear you say that. That's exactly what happened. He was racing somebody, and all he had to do was veer, and he didn't. He went straight because he probably was going too fast. You have to lean into the turns, and for some reason, he wasn't able to lean, and he went straight into that van and crashed right into it.
Right.
That's crazy that you know that. No one, you can't Google that if you wanted to. There's nothing.
I'm so sorry, yeah, because it's all in this split
Man, that's
second.
so crazy.
I'm so sorry that that happened, and this happened so quickly that nothing could have been done. The way that this kind of came across is there was a feeling of this happened so fast, it would have been pointless to even go to a hospital, because the feeling is like,
he didn't go to the hospital, he was dead on the scene.
Yeah, from the get-go, it's like I know that this is so bad that there's nothing that's gonna save me at a hospital. It's pointless.
Nothing, yeah. That was an emotional day.
Oh, I bet.
And when Billy passed away, it was very difficult for me to remain positive about the subject. I mean, the things that I would do with Billy, like riding the motorcycles, I immediately stopped that and I sold all my motorcycles. The most difficult thing was spending so much time with someone, like every single day and doing everything together, and then just to one day, all of a sudden that stopped. No warning to that happening, it just stopped.
Thank you. I don't know. Good to keep in mind, there is a joke about, and these are two really kind of ambiguous references. So the way this kind of comes across is this reference to Kid Rock.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes,
Not
this
sure-
his favorite was Kid Rock.
Okay.
I love Kid Rock. That's insane.
Kid Rock. I'm like, Kid Rock, I don't know what
That's
this is.
crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah. And he's referencing to being honored, and it isn't a motorcycle kind of a way. It's taking a ride for him.
Oh
And
my
he
God,
does
yeah,
give us a-
Wow, we did a bike
Yep.
runs for him.
It's a
yeah.
whole group. It's like a little like, you know, intimate, personal thing, but the
Yeah,
feeling
we
is
had a little
like,
bike club and we did a run for him.
yeah, and he knows that. The feeling is like, thank you for doing this.
Yeah, and every single time he would never ride without me, I would never ride without him. And so I got a phone call one day and he's like, oh, I'm gonna go riding. And just crazily, I didn't feel like riding that day.
Right.
And that's the day he went riding and he passed away. I feel I don't have any closure on that. I don't know how he feels, and I've gotten famous since then, and I can imagine what life would be like if he was still around. And
I see. When he came through, nothing would have made his circumstance different had you been there or not. And if anything, I
Okay.
think the fact that he took a sense of happiness that you weren't there to see that happen, I mean, that was a good thing for him because he didn't want that to be the last way that you would have remembered him.
Okay.
So I think it's important for us to release any guilt that we might have, you know, about these situations. It's hard.
yeah, no, it feels good knowing that because I always had that in the back of my mind. And
Yeah, for sure. The way this comes across basically is he in life didn't get the chance to have kids and have, you know, this whole situation of like, you know, I want to be able to have a family, I want to be able to have everything that I wish I could have had. And the feeling is the time that I died prevented me from having everything I wanted to have. But you have the opportunity to have all of these things. And as you obtain them, he's going to be there, kind of living vicariously through you.
That's so cool.
No doubt. He's still so deeply connected to you and still there. And I get a feeling of total peace.
That's so cool, man. That's so cool. Well, losing Billy was very difficult for me. I felt like my whole world just crushed. I never experienced a death with somebody that close to me. And then to talk to a medium like Tyler and him knowing more information than anybody else, I'm just thankful to get that closure.
Thank you so much for today. I mean, this
No,
has
thank
been
you. This has
awesome.
been great.
Yes.
This is so cool. Tyler has a gift, and how the stuff pops into his head, I don't know. It's unexplainable to me, but it did, and there's no explaining that. You just can't make this stuff up. So he's legit. Thank you. I'm still shaking. It's wild to me. Thank you. Take care. Whew, that was wild. So wild. I can't believe how he got things so spot on. And he knew, I mean, this is stuff you can't Google. This is stuff that no one knows about myself. And he knew it. Like, I'm a believer. It was really dope.